You're live right now. Chief Meteorologist Bob Jessel alongside with the First Alert Weather Team. Here's our first concern for the News 3 viewing area. And here it is at 10 minutes to the hour of midnight Eastern Standard Time. We're on Central Time now. Coming just to the east right now, 431 south. The Headland area just had a tornado pass right along 431. This is tightly wrapped, and you can see the inflow and outflow. You see the dark colors here, and then you see the greens. We're taking right part of center part of circulation here. If we were to extend it at least until 20 to 25 minutes past the hour, this is potentially could come in the Shorterville area. That would take it somewhere around 11:11, so you should get in your safe spot here. Fort Gaines, this is for all of you viewers here, News 3 viewers, that are seeing that severe thunderstorm warning, but that tornado warning just off to your west, at least the polygon is, and there's a tornado right here. We're looking at radial velocity, measuring the wind coming in and away from the radar, and we can tell by the areas of green, we can get real tight here, very close to the areas of red, and that's where we believe the tornado is, right through here. On one element of this, the technology we can use, we can actually see the tornado debris signature, and this really tells us if there's debris. It is confirmed. This is an actual tornado, and it is on the ground. It's headed towards areas of Highway 95, where Miller, if you're in the path there, Hardwickburg, and again, this is going to continue, and where it really becomes a threat for News 3 viewing area, if we back out just a little bit again, could take us right up into the Cuthbert area, Fort Gaines and Cuthbert. So we would say areas around Quitman County, and then eventually getting into Randolph County, and that's what has us concerned, coming up to at least 20 after 12 in the morning Eastern Standard Time. Thank you, Carmen, right there. And you can see this. So 18 minutes after the hour, midnight Eastern Time, it looks as if we may see this. It would still be on the ground potentially around Shorterville, and this would be just after 11, 12 or so Central Time, local time for you guys. And then if it continues on this track, again, could it continue till 12:30, 12:42? Just stay tuned. I don't think you have to get in your safe spot just yet. If you're in Cuthbert, Fort Gaines, I would start kind of thinking about maybe something coming up here in the next 18 minutes. This is moving fast, the system, and you can see the circulation right here. This is the circulation. Now, Carmen's been watching this, so has meteorologist Carmen Rose, meteorologist Cody Nickel. What have you guys seen, and what are you able to detect on this, Carmen, with the debris? Have you had any luck with this on this velocity right now?
Well, we haven't gotten many reports of damage across the area, as it has been confirmed near Dothan and then up near Henry County, just around the Headland area. Haven't seen much reports. I've seen some damage reports of some wind or some trees down across the Dothan area from the fire department in Dothan. But other than that, I haven't seen any reports of structural damage from this tornado as it has moved through Houston County, just to the northwest of Dothan and into southern parts of Henry County near the Headland area.
Okay, and you could see at the bottom of the screen on News 3, we're actually crawling right now. You can see the intensity. Look at all the lightning strikes that are coming in associated with this ahead of it. So what we have is we have severe weather. Here's the radar now that Carmen's putting on here. And around the Shorterville area, here's the lightning that's coming in as well. So you could see that lightning. If you're in America, Sumter County, if you're in Clay, Quitman, or Randolph counties, you could certainly see what's headed in your direction. And what I'm concerned about is that this is continuing to track at this northeast lift, and this is something that certainly needs to be watched and taken very seriously. There is a tornado on the ground right now, and it is exactly north and east of the Headland area, getting closer to Shorterville. Here is our radial velocity. The velocity colors show a clear distinction where the center of circulation is located just to the north and west of Haleburg, and this is coming along Highway 95. You can see the latest radar sweep from Fort Rucker. This is level 2 radar. This is live radar here, and as it continues to move in this direction counterclockwise, it's going to continue on its track. Potentially, this could get closer and closer to areas around, once it gets past Shorterville, getting into Quitman County, and that would have me concerned about you guys over in Fort Gaines. This could continue when it leaves Henry County, at least getting towards Shorterville, the cities there, Abbeville, and all the way past through here, getting into Cuthbert at least around maybe 18 minutes after the hour. It's just about midnight right now. We're just seconds away, and we're talking about midnight Eastern Time, 11 o'clock Central. And look at the times here that we're looking at. Do you take shelter now? You certainly should take shelter if you're in the Shorterville area, and if you're picking us up here at WRBL.com, which we're live streaming. You can have it on your phone, your mobile device, if you have to seek shelter, if you're in areas of Fort Gaines. If you're in Fort Gaines, we're talking about at least 15 minutes after the hour. So about 15 minutes from now, potentially this tornado could be right in your area. And it is on the ground, it is confirmed, and there's debris with it. This is pretty significant here, folks. And as it continues on this track, I think it has enough momentum. We've been following this all the way down in Florida. As it started, it weakened and it re-intensified, and there's still more circulation with it as it continues to lift north and east and eventually getting into areas of Cuthbert potentially. Look at the rain and the lightning with it. This dark red here is all the energy ahead of it, and the circulation is back behind it, right about here. So that's where that tornado is located here on the radar, and you can see the tremendous amount of lightning. So this is going to be rain wrapped. You're not going to see anything. Don't try to see anything. This is very dangerous. So anyone in this path from Abbeville, Shorterville, all the way back into areas, eventually going to Fort Gaines, which right now you're under severe thunderstorm warning for Clay, Quitman, and Randolph. But right on the heel of that severe thunderstorm warning, we're talking about a tornado warning. So that's what has us concerned here. The tornado watch continues to 3 o'clock in the morning Eastern time in this particular area, and midnight for our Alabama counties. Here's you follow, you're okay right now, but where the tornado is located is to stay and remain south and remain east of Barber County and Eufaula as it continues to lift north and east in tracks like this. And you could see it where it is a lot farther south here. But as it continues on this track, it could be coming up eventually from 27 and then lifting back on the heels of that severe thunderstorm warning, which is interesting. How much will that severe thunderstorm ahead of it with that heavy rain, could it weaken this at all at this point? It's potentially it could. But the way this momentum's been going with these upper level winds, it's really keeping these storms very active, and they're really holding up. And this is exactly what the Storm Prediction Center has been saying. This is right in line to the First Alert forecast. The good news, nobody's been seeing anything around anywhere north of this, but we are focused on our viewers to the south right now. And that, again, would be any of our viewers around Fort Gaines and Cuthbert. I want you to be watching closely and seeing if you have to seek in a safe shelter, even with these severe thunderstorm warnings that are ahead of the system. Meteorologist Carmen Rose is tracking this. And Carmen, I'll let you weigh in here a little bit. You've been looking at some of the correlation coefficient. Is there anything that we can get with either that or any other of our radar displays showing us some TDS or tornado debris signatures?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's check that out. Again, as Bob mentioned, we can see that our tornado is right here. I'll just circle it so you can see where we're talking about, just north of Halesburg. So this is continuing to track northeast at 45 miles per hour. So we're just going to check out and see our correlation coefficient just to check out if we can see any debris here. And that's where it was circled. Looks like this tornado warning has now just been updated. You can see where that polygon is.
Looks like some debris up here too, Carmen. If you zoom in a little bit, right where my finger is,
just
right about
toward
there.
the north, yeah. See
So
exactly
there's debris here at the center circulation, bless you, and even maybe debris to the south and east of that. So
Right.
this is pretty intense.
Another circulation has
Is
developed ahead of it as the old ones weakened, another one spun up off of
kind of like a gust-nado.
Yeah.
That's what we call that, the gust
Yeah,
front.
there
And you
it
can
is
see
right
the gust
there.
front line. That's good point there, Cody and Carmen. Right here is what Cody's talking about. This line of distinction, very sharp line, would be the actual gust front as this starts to circulate, and that could potentially bring in a little, what we say, gust-nado. They kind of spin up, kind of what happened in Russell County, the one that was north of Crawford. So back to, go ahead, Carmen, if you want to say something. Can we put Carmen on camera too? I mean, go ahead if she has something to point out there.
That's right. I mean, I'm just kind of reiterating what you and Cody are both saying.
Okay.
And we saw that just west of 95. Now you can see in Hardwickburg.
You could turn around, Carmen, too. We got you on camera. Yeah.
Hello.
Okay.
Now you can see just north here of Hardwickburg where that circulation is. And again, we checked out our correlation coefficient, just checking out where that debris is, and you can kind of see right there, that's where it's at. And just about a couple minutes ago, I would say 15 minutes tops, it was moving at 30 miles per hour. Now 45 miles per hour as this continues to track northeast. So again, Clay and Randolph counties, you're the main counties here at risk as this continues to track northeast. But we are watching this. That is a confirmed tornado. We've got gusty winds along with this. So even though if you're not under that tornado right now, the strong winds are very damaging. So like Bob and Cody, we've all been telling you guys, if you are in these areas, then you'll want to make sure that you are in your safe spot. But Cody has some more to add on to what's going on right now.
All right, this is just in. We have another TDS, and this is what we were talking about near the Hardwickburg area. This is confirmed tornado, and these things are, as the chat said, popping up really fast. As I was mentioning, the old circulation has weakened, and this new one has formed just near Alabama 95, near the Hardwickburg community, and this is moving off towards the northeast at about 45 miles per hour. So I believe this shouldn't miss the Hayesville or Hayes area, but you still need to be in your safe area as this continues to move off towards the northeast. I believe this is Shorterville here in Henry County. So if you were in Shorterville, between not sure what that area is.
Look where Fort Gaines is. If we could continue that trek out to Fort Gaines.
Yeah.
And News 3 viewing area extends down here, by the way, and that's why we're live right now. This is the area Cody was just pointing out. There's Shorterville. And go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off, Cody, but
you're
Fort
fine.
Gaines, if you could go ahead and take over. I want to see what
Here
you're
you
talking
go.
about.
Fort Gaines, 17 minutes after midnight there. So in about 15 minutes or so.
Yeah,
10,
easily.
10 minutes.
Yeah, 10 minutes.
10 minutes in Fort Gaines and near the dam in Fort Gaines as well.
Well, here we are back to radio velocity. Good job on that. And again, this is something we should be pretty concerned about. We're looking at this. Can we put this in motion, Carmen, real quick? I'm just curious. And it does look like it's lifting. Yeah, it certainly is. It looks like it's. You do have a gust front with this. I mean, tremendous amount of wind outflowing out of this whole system. And with it, the tornadoes on the back edge of it's still a very long-lived tornado. That's why we're in that moderate risk. You heard the Storm Prediction Center, we've been talking about it all day, that moderate risk is exactly what's in line here. You get more significant type tornadoes. When you get potentially dangerous storm systems, which we had down near Florida earlier today or yesterday, or in Louisiana, that's when you have long-lived, very strong tornadoes. This is pretty similar to that, and I think it goes hand in hand with that exact, we should say, the actual watch that we're looking at. And not only the watch, but exactly what we're putting us in categorically with the Storm Prediction Center is a moderate risk here. And that moderate risk is certainly showing us how it's getting closer and closer now to Fort Gaines. If you're in Fort Gaines, let's zoom in as tight as we can. Let's go right in there. I think it's just time to just start tracking this baby and just hold on to it. Folks, if you are now in Shorterville and you are picking us up, this is outside of Abbeville. Now, Abbeville, you're fine. So you're in Abbeville, no need to panic. But there it is, the center of circulation. There's Fort Gaines. And apparently the polygon has this, it looks like it's going to eject or lift north and eastward. Here's Fort Rucker radar sweep right now. You got the latest live radar coming up. Past already Highway 95. Shorterville's in the path. If this continues with this polygon, it's an awfully odd shape. And I'm wondering with this gust front, it's kind of is lifting north and east a little bit. Fort Gaines, you may not be in the direct path of this, but we're going to put you in there anyway, because I think we're always erring the side of caution. I think even coming up right now, it is 7 minutes after the hour for Central, obviously, and local times. But if we put it in, it's at least coming up within the next 10 minutes. Maybe even less than that. So this is moving at quite a clip. So if you're in Fort Gaines right now, you should be seeking shelter in the most interior section of a home. Mobile homes you should not be in, and you should be in something that's very sturdy, at least a bathroom or something that has enough walls between you and the outside. Never be in an outside wall. A lot of people think, well, it's safe, I'm in here. Even if it's a closet and outside wall, we should be more interior and protecting your head and hunkering down. This is if you're in Fort Gaines, you should do that like right now at this minute, because what we're looking at is wind coming in and away from the radar. Here's Fort Rucker radar. Let me just back out of the way here, right off to the side here. And that's the air moving away from it. And that's the color that we see here in red. And there's a green coming very rapidly ahead of it with the gust front too. So we got some strong winds. That's with that severe thunderstorm warning, Clay, Quitman, and Randolph counties, which could be potentially doing some damage. And it doesn't take much to topple trees down with that. And there's the actual tornado. We can even get tighter. Meteorologist Carmen Rose, if you could kind of zip in there. That last sweep there looks like there might be a little weakening. And that's what I was wondering, especially with all that rain and intense showers and storms ahead of it. That would be good news if it is. But I don't want to just get too comfortable yet, because it's been doing that a little bit, kind of pulsing, if you will, and a potential scene with some of the debris signatures, as Cody pointed out, that there could be actually some debris that was being picked up. Here we go. For example, is this our CC or correlation coefficient, or is this the spectral correlation? Okay, so what we call, and we're speaking meteorological terms here, but this CC or correlation coefficient is a really good tool for us, especially with live level 2 radar. And you can see from Willis Cross crossroads south down here. This is just south of Shorterville. Even though the circulation may be farther south and east of that, look at this debris field that's being picked up from the circulation. Very strong winds ahead of it, and that poses a potential danger and risk with a lot of debris floating in the atmosphere and falling down, tree limbs, whatever they may be. And these crazy pixelated colors like this is what's associated with this circulation that we showed you on radial velocity just a second ago. And here's the debris field that could be potentially right through this area, which will continue right along Highway 10, and then that would continue to lift north and east. So folks in Shorterville and Fort Gaines right now is a good time to start hunkering down. If you got to leave your TV on, you can do so and listen. NOAA Weather Radio is your best friend. Oh, and local radio, and I'm so sorry I haven't said this too, Q1073. In fact, Stephanie Reeves, could you do me a favor? Call Dave Arwood. I forgot to do that, so this is why I get so caught up. He's on that piece of paper there, and if you could call him. Q1073, we can broadcast. So if you have your radio, you can listen to Q1073. We'll continue the live coverage here. And then we're also, until this event is over, and then we also,
warning.
yeah, to let
We've got
folks
another
know.
one right
We've got
here.
another warning now, right now. This is now Blakely area. And a lot of this appears to be so south. Now, if you're watching and just tuning in now, we have 2 tornado warnings now, one from the north. Wondering if this looks like this is more what we call a gustnado. The energy from this and at outflowing winds, sometimes you get a little weak rotation. And in fact, I don't know how weak that looks, but that looks like it's starting to crank up a little bit. But there could be some strong winds associated with that. So, yeah, so the one that we're watching here, I think so much of this one here, I'm more concerned about backing up here, but it's interesting. Thanks for showing me that, Carmen, down here. So we're getting a lot of energy down here in these southern counties. They have been watching. Thank you, Dave, Dave Arwood. Q1073, folks. You can have your radio if you're in right now, if you're in Fort Gaines, Georgia, feel free to keep your radio. If you're in Cuthbert, Georgia, and Randolph County, watch us now, right along Highway 27 South. You guys are fine. Keep Q1073 is another way of listening. Your mobile device, our WRBL News app and our WRBL Radar app has this exact live streaming on. There's a bit of a delay. That's why I'm not pushing it right now, especially in this kind of situation, but it can certainly give you the information you need. This is just one separate system ahead of one that's behind it, and this is what we're tracking. Let me back up. We still have this behind us right now. We still got severe storms associated with the area low pressure that's starting to lift very rapidly in the northeast parts of Mississippi, which is going to clip a good third of Alabama. The good news of this is starting to pick up a lot of speed. This looks like at the rate that it's moving now shouldn't affect kids at school tomorrow morning. A lot of folks are asking that question. So this could be over with potentially it's 12 midnight, maybe within the next couple of hours. But this we'll still watch, but I'm not so concerned about this, but I'm concerned about, let's go right about here. Hang on a second, Carmen, right here, back across Montgomery, this right here, because we still got another bit of a line here that can reactivate a lot of this stuff that's just now to the east of Interstate 65. Very similar how that is rotated. You can even see how the radar even has an upper level low with it, a little defluence here, and you can see the actual counterclockwise movement with that. And down at the surface is where we're seeing that 2 tornado warnings. So again, we'll get down a little closer. Who's hunkering down right now? And if we can give a good timeline, that's good. If you can, even let's go ahead and branch out here and show where we're getting a better handle. Looks like Fort Gaines now. This may be more to the south and east here, but Cuthbert again, as we said, it would just put you on a northwest corner of that polygon of the track. And there's still another tornado warning back here, which I think that's pretty much back here now. It's almost over. There it is. That's where it's picking up right now. With
There's a TDS on that one near Blakely.
Is there a
just
TDS
to the
in there
north?
too?
Okay.
Okay. And watching that too. So we have 2 of them here, and it's going to continue to lift north and east.
So that may move toward Bluffton and Clay County.
Yeah, that certainly can. So the winds are very strong out there associated with the system.
Is this at 45?
It's at 55.
55 now.
Okay, so this is moving quite fast. So where are we with the latest track and in terms of folks? Okay, and even though this one here around Shulman, there's some folks that watch us through here, but you could see some of the times in that. But I want to get back, when we're done with this, I'm going to get back to Quitman and Clay counties. But you can see Bluffton and Edison and that. And we do have some folks that may get us off of that Albany channel there for CBS, which I understand. But if we can back up a little bit over here, back towards Shorterville, and there's Henry County, and you could see certainly where that tornado signature is right on this side. But this is the latest one we're looking at. Let's get a little closer and see where we're at in this. This is starting to get very broad and not so defined. and there's Shorterville right now. But
We
I
do
mean,
have a new tornado watch, and this includes Muskogee County. It goes until 6 a.m. It was just issued for, let's go through the counties here, Harris County, Macon County, Marion County, Muskogee County, Sly County, Stewart County. So basically, most of our Georgia counties, so the entire Chattahoochee Valley is under a tornado watch. Just the times are varying in these. So we do have a new tornado watch for Muskogee County and the city of Columbus, although we haven't seen much activity up here. Most of it has been down towards the south around Clay County, Randolph County, and moving into parts of Bluffton, even south of Cuthbert, and even into parts of Shellman here eventually.
Okay, great. Good, Cody. So let's get back to Clay and Randolph County, where our 2 tornado warnings are right now. And that watch, as Cody just told you, has now continued across our Georgia counties now. And that, again, is that system. I'm still showing that last line, the squall line, coming in around Montgomery, Alabama. Although there's nothing going on in Montgomery right now, but this is a line that's going to fire up some more potential. Now that the system is lifting north and east now, okay, it's been south all day across Louisiana. Now it's taking a northeast turn, and I was just talking to our news director about this because she wasn't understanding. I said, well, south first, northeast, it starts to lift up. This is that next line we got to watch. That line itself, and we're going to watch what could actually erupt in between this, and that's exactly what happened here tonight. And when we were on the air at 11:10 Central live, there was nothing going on. But I did say, I said, look, watch when this thing starts to wrap up and get a little closer. It's going to start to reactivate, and that's when all the twisting began. So if we could get a little closer, give me the latest track on this. Let's go back to Clay, Quitman, Randolph. Let me see Cuthbert. That's that right here. Let's just kind of see how close we are and track this out here. And if we could go back to velocity for me, so I get a better idea, because these polygons just mess me up here. There we go. Okay, so we have, there's our tornado 1 that we're tracking, although it looks like it's starting to wrap back up again. This one just north of Blakely, that's coming around Bluffton, Edison, that could clip portions of southern. Right here is the bottom southern edge of Randolph County. So we'll be watching it. Cuthbert, you're right above where this says AM here. There's Cuthbert there. So you still may not be directly in the path of this, but folks across portions of Quitman County, or Randolph County, excuse me, certainly need to keep that in mind. Farrell Crossroads would be one in particular that's closer down here around Highway 27 and eventually going into Edison and Shellman. And then back up a little bit towards the north and west, albeit that the circulation doesn't look so pronounced right now, we still got to keep an eye on that. Let's go back up where that severe thunderstorm warning is, getting closer to Cuthbert. Even though you got to, it's still severe thunderstorm warning. If you're in Fort Gaines in Cuthbert, you should still be seeking shelter at this point. There's a lot of winds there. These 2 areas are converging now a little bit. Look like it was a gust tornado front. Now we got like 2 tornadoes simultaneously. We have TDS on both of those too?
Yeah.
Okay.
We did, but the circulation looks like it has broadened a little bit.
It looks like they're both kind of working in together. It looks like they're converging together a little bit. Yeah, and it doesn't look terribly impressive, but if there is any debris, perhaps it's right about, there's Blakely, maybe a little bit more down here. Yeah.
But just to the east of Blakely right there, you could probably get some strong outflow winds from that storm in northern Early County.
Okay, great. And there it is. Now that's pretty impressive right here. Here it comes. Look at this latest swipe right here. This is a really well-defined line right here, a gust front, and this could create a lot of damage. If like down near the Cuba area, can we still widen this out? We're so far south out of our viewing area. I want to go up towards our viewing area. Sorry about that. I know it's got to be a pain because I'm telling you, just come down a little bit. Yeah, come in right about there. But you could see that gust front coming out of that, accelerating with this. So folks like in Arlington on the outer polygon here that comes up, and right here is Randolph County. You see where Coleman is? Where Carmen's putting that track. She's extending it all the way up. And anybody that would be in this track would be places just like here. We'll show you Farrell Crossroads and Bluffton and Edison. These are some small towns here right at the bottom of the hour. It's 18 minutes after the hour. So if you're in these areas all the way from Aycock Mill area back to Edison, back up a bit to Bluffton, certainly you should be seeking shelter right now. And that eventually takes us off around Highway 27 and again kind of putting us back just to where Shellman is in that northeast corner there, right around Highway 82, brings us into southern portions of areas of Randolph County, and that's what I would be most concerned about at that point. But again, a lot of wind. Look at how that's bowing out. That could be causing a lot of wind damage. And this we're saying too, real destructive kind of winds. That was one of the other threat, not to mention that tornado that was long-lived, which we're still not seeing so much of that at this point. But our friends in Cuthbert and Fort Gaines, zoom in right in this sector right here. Let me just keep going now. Yeah, a little bit more, Carmen. There you go. And there we go. There's Cuthbert. Stop right there. That's perfect. Again, we could see where some of that circulation is. This may not be an actual tornado at this point, even though the tornado warning is still present. If you are around areas around the Blakely Road area and street, actually it's Blakely Street that comes right through downtown Cuthbert, and then there's Peterson Hill right through here. This area here could be some wind, significant wind. So this would be the kind of event here that could actually create some trees that could topple over easily in this part here of Randolph County. Even though the tornado circulation, the severe thunderstorm is just off to your south, there's still a lot of energy coming in and a lot of outflow winds. If we could shut off velocity and just go ahead and put the radar imagery, and if you're posting to social, Carmen, don't just tell me you're posting. You can tell me what you're doing because I don't want to mess you up because we got to keep everybody updated here. But you can see from Coleman down to Bluffton, and you can see the tremendous amount of heavy rain, and that's the other component to this, and the winds that are gusting here. So now if you're in Cuthbert, if you're in Fort Gaines, you guys are, I don't want to say you're okay, but you're in a better shape right now than what we're thinking earlier, and that's some good news. But the energy now is just lifting up to the north and a little bit to the east. It looks like this is more easterly. I don't know why these polygons are northeasterly. They're killing me here. But it should be more easterly. I'm not understanding that. But here's Cuthbert, and this is moving more east. And again, if we have some lightning, could we put some lightning data on there? You could see how much lightning is Carmen is posting this. But you could see the lightning ahead of this and how intense the storm system is. And, there's probably, there it is. Look at this, the strikes that are coming in. That's real-time strikes that just popped up. And, again, probably, we're talking hundreds. And, in fact, let's just see, this is over 1,200 strikes. And I think this is set for, is this 30 minutes of data or 10 minutes? If this is 10, this is quite a bit.
I think it's 30.
30 minutes. Okay,
yeah.
That makes more sense. So in 30 minutes, we're talking over 1,200 strikes. And that's significant with the energy, with the system. So we're not only talking about that, but the threat of maybe some fires, risk of trees being hit and toppling over with the wind. And then we had that tornado warning. So right now, I just want to let everybody know that you're safe. If you're in Cuthbert, you don't have any tornado threat for you. If you're in Fort Gaines right now, it is moving rapidly off to your east, so you're looking good. And I don't want to discount friends here in Shorterville and Blakely, but this is getting out of our news reviewing area. But Fort Gaines, you're certainly seeing the worst of it kind of passing by right now, and you still got more energy to the south. Around the Haleburg area, there could be potential wind damage down there associated with it. Some very heavy rain's going to be knocking at your door here, Cuthbert, and with it, some tremendous amount of lightning and some strong winds. And even around Eufaula, I don't want to leave our friends in Eufaula out here, the back edge of this, you're wondering what's going on with you. Eufaula, you're fine. If you're watching in Barber County right now, 431, you're okay. That tornado warning was farther south. It is now, even though the warning's still up, it'll expire because these are just on a timer. You're looking good in Fort Gaines, and you're looking good right now in Cuthbert from any tornado threat, but the threat still exists with some strong damaging wind at this point, and you can see where those warnings are right now. And you can see where the tornado warning is in southern part of Randolph County as it continues, which is just scraping that. And just out of the news reviewing area, then eventually we'll watch this as it continues around Dawson. I think what we're going to do right now, and if Carmen or Cody, do you want to add anything at this point? Okay, now that our viewers are safe down here, I want to make sure they're okay at this point. We're going to be watching. We show that last line. Carmen, you can show this. This is why the entire viewing area now is still under the tornado watch. We have the tornado warnings down here. Calhoun, Clay, which is in our viewing area, Bluffton and Edison, but now that is starting to exit out. So our cities of concern for news reviewers are now on the safe side, but you do have heavy rain. I'm not discounting that, and some strong winds that could still cause some minor damage. But if you get back across Montgomery, let's pull it back off here a little bit more. You can see right here, stop it right there. This line right here, could you stop let's stop the rotation here on this. Yeah, there you go. This right here is the last part that we're going to keep a watchful eye on. This is just west of Montgomery. This is starting to excel some of the energy to the southwest, lifting this up. And this is why we're going to watch the areas in between here for reactivating. Now, with this whole line coming in and this whole storm system ejecting north and east, going farther north and east across Mississippi, it's going to bring a greater risk now to everybody north of Columbus northward. We've been seeing the action south, down to Florida, down to Louisiana, southern Alabama, where all that damage we had yesterday, and in areas of Louisiana and Mississippi. But now we're going to watch anywhere for anyone included from Columbus northward, and it could still mean south too. So everybody in the News 3 viewing area is under a tornado watch. The tornado watch for all the counties except Alabama. Is Alabama considering they had to upgrade that?
It goes until 1 a.m., but National Weather Service in Birmingham said they're going to let it expire.
Okay.
So that's a good.
That makes sense. It's good news for East Central Alabama viewers. So if that expires, it's what's going to be breaking out in between here is why the Georgia side is going to continue. And thank you, Carmen, for putting this in here till it says 6 o'clock. Honestly, I know a lot of kids got to go to school. It's doubtful it'll be that long, but they have to issue these times out, and that could be cut back. That'll probably be reeled back in once we get a better handle on time, but that's just the way they do it. So, again, if you're Chattahoochee, Harris, Muskogee, Talbot counties, and frankly, every county in our viewing area for Georgia, you're under a tornado watch until earlier this morning, and I honestly don't think it'll go till 6 o'clock. I'm going to doubt that. But anyway, the most energy's been to the south, and a tornado warning right now that looks like it still wants to cut across areas of southern portions and southeast portions of Randolph County. It's till 1 o'clock. I'm still kind of hesitant. I don't see the purpose of staying on this. Cuthbert, you're out of the line, the worst part of this, and I'm going to stop rambling right about here. Cody, last words. Anything? Carmen?
We're good.
Okay, we'll come back on. We'll cut in whenever there's life-threatening weather. That's what we do, priority number one. We're still live streaming at WRBL.com/live. We're also on the radio, and we have been. If we have to do this again, we'll be on Q107.3. That's Q107.3 FM. And thank you for listening, and thank you for watching on mobile and at WRBL.com and social media. We're still there for you.